Monster Kody has passed away at age 57. He was a noble member of the Crip gang in LA. He went on to becoming a motivational speaker and a thinker. This is why I respect the shit out of this dude. Let's get into this video. America has always been fascinated with the mob, kingpins, crime. It's in movies, shows, history, and it's become culture. Crime and scandal, from inmates in Alcatraz to John Gotti and Al Capone. But the United States has its own share of homegrown drug kingpins, mob bosses, and gangsters. This is Gangsters of America. Hey, what's up guys? My name is JC. I am Wrong and Strong. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss nothing. If you're part of my crew, mi familia, mi raza, mi pandilla, you already know, Chicago, Southside, stand up! Súbanse a la suburban. Let's get this video on the road.
Just with almost like that was supposed to be me. That the way they looked and the way they looked at me, it was just power. I felt it, and I just took that name, and so that's where that name came from. I wanted to comment on something that Dub C said a minute ago about the choices and the consequences. A lot of times, our community as a whole is sick. The community as a whole is sick, and so the sick society produces abnormalities, and street organizations, gangs, are those abnormalities. And so when we go out and shoot another brother or sister or an innocent, it's the hate we got in us for self that makes him a nigga, makes her a bitch. It's that internal hate. So something is wrong with the community.
What's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Wrong Strong. JC, your host. How you guys doing today, man? It's been a busy week. Monster was born on November 13, 1963. A member of the 8 Trey gangster crips. He earned his name Monster after being a victim at the age of 13. So he was 13 beating up people. I could fully understand that. My first run-in with that kind of life was at like 9 or 10, and I'm pretty sure he started very young also. They say that he started gangbanging like around 9 or 8. From there, you guys know the street story, the life. He was deep in the gang life, deep on the streets. He was finally incarcerated, and while he was incarcerated in the 80s, he changed his name and changed his life. In 1993, he published the book, Monster, LA Gang Member. In his book, he talks about, falling in love with the street life and the power, but he also highlights his growth, his conversion to Islam while in prison. This is one of the things that I guess you could say has impacted a lot of people that have done time, especially Monster. Monster spent 36 months in San Quentin State Prison in Pelican Bay. I don't need to say more about those prisons. Most of his time was done in solitary. When you spend a lot of time in solitary confinement, you have no choice but to look for somewhere else for strength, spiritual. I could understand how he spent that time in solitary and how it could change people, it changed me. I spent almost a year in solitary confinement, and I got very, very into, I read the Quran, I read the Bible, I read everything that had to do with a higher power because I needed that power to survive. I needed to stay sane because there was a lot of people losing their shit in there, going crazy, busting their heads on the wall just to get some kind of contact. But why I respect Monster so much, and I call him by his nickname because people don't realize, we take pride in our nicknames, It's given to us, I don't know, for a reason, and we learn to just embrace it, Like mine, Brazier. I hated my name. I was Magic, Monster, Joker, and then I don't know how I got stuck with Brazier, but that was my nickname. But this is what I mean about guys living that life and going back to the streets and you know, trying to change what they helped destroyed. You can't send suits in to try and fix damage that we made. We have to go back in. It's one of my biggest talks, it's one of my biggest things. If you did grow up in that gang life, on that street life, gang banging, Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings, Disciples, and you made it out, I hope that you feel some kind of small responsibility to kind of go back and say it ain't what you think it is. Because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want your kids gangbanging. You wouldn't want your kids on the streets drinking, doing drugs, doing shootings, or doing life or dead. No parent should bury his kid. Monster went back to the neighborhood and tried to make an impact as much as he could. They're always gonna talk about the bad stuff. They're always gonna talk about all the stuff that he did and how he was feared, and you know, how much money was sent to him in prison for, you know, taking care of things and stuff like that. But people don't realize that you have to fucking survive. And if they drop you off in a fucking jungle, you're gonna have to do what you have to do to survive. The things change once you get out. When you get out and the world hits you head on at 100 miles an hour, that's when you realize that the change that was so hard in there is actually good. And you become a thinker. You actually learn to think on your own instead of letting other people brainwash you and tell you, these are your colors, these are your streets, this is that, don't say this, don't say that, don't, you know, don't get involved with that shit. Don't get involved with gangs, don't get involved with drugs, don't get involved with bad people. Remember, sometimes you're just guilty by association. So yes, I respect Monster for the work that he did, for what he tried to highlight, and I hope it keeps going on. I hope we get more people that are doing the same, man, because you know what? This ain't easy, and it's not an easy job. Everything that is positive, everything that is correcting something wrong takes a lot of work, because nobody wants to cough up the money. Nobody wants to give up grants. Nobody wants to help. Only the true ones that have grown up in that life and know the suffering and know what we go through on the streets and doing time and having friends pass away know what the struggle is, and it's real. Monster, rest in peace, Kody, man. You always be remembered, man. You were a real gangster, man. My name's JC. I am raw and strong. Don't judge nobody. Stay in your lane. Live savage, and remember, you only have one life to live. Live it out here free, without doing drugs, without gangbanging, not doing prison time, and of course, just be fucking happy and kind to others, man. I'll catch you guys on the rebound.